when you were in Jamaica, what was like the most scariest near-death experience you had?
Nigga.
I mean, you don't have to start it off like that.
Yeah, why did you have to start niggas?
That's the
you
scary.
can start with I.
Yeah.
All right.
Or we.
Cut that out. We're gonna.
I'm not cutting that out.
Okay.
Nigga say cut out one word.
So, most experience I had, bro, I was asleep in the car. I don't know where we went, but I was asleep in the car, and next thing you know, I'm sorry. Hold on. Why are you giving me this cup? I drank out of this, and now I have a totally different cup, and it just happened 2 minutes ago.
Why was this cup right in front of you?
I don't know.
So which one did you drink out of?
That one.
All right, well, here, take that one.
Why are you trying to be David Blaine and shit, bro?
I think Matt be trying to roof
Be
you.
careful. Something might be floating in that one.
All right, backstory. No. Wait. Sidetrack.
Okay,
Backstory on that. They're floating on it. No, you don't want to say it because it's on you.
No.
So
that
Jason just said something might be floating in that, right? So we went to Virginia 2 days ago, right? And Nigel ordered this nasty ass hot sake, right? He's pouring it into the glasses and he's handing it out to everybody at the table. Me, Jason, and Nigel each get a glass, right? So he's pouring it into the shot cup that we have. When I get mine and I look down into that cup, there's 3 things floating in it. One thing at the bottom. That's 4 things. I'm thinking, oh my God, what is this in my cup? Right? I show Jason. He like, bro, what the fuck is that? So
it was only
at that
one
point.
chunk
At that point, they're taking their shot. They're taking their shot. Jason and Nigel are both taking their shot. Nigel has his in his mouth as we're going, and
you gotta leave out those details.
No. He has it in his mouth.
Get your feet off of me, bro.
I'm clipping that.
It's in his mouth.
I'm clipping that.
And
right
I show him my cup, and my cup has those 4 shits floating in it. Right, drink still in his mouth. He about to spit it out. He's like, yeah, Matt. I saw that in your cup. I just was waiting until you said something about it. I was waiting to see if you noticed it.
First of all, I would never do nothing like that.
Anyway,
I can
Jason,
back it.
Jason,
He wanted him to taste dirt.
Jason.
Can you go back to your story?
Hate me.
Can you go back to your story? The audience is they're kind of like trying to figure out
Everybody here has ADHD. Just know that.
They're trying to keep up.
ADHD.
I'm so sorry that you
Nigga, it's just like HIV.
Go through because I know it's hard to keep up with the different stories.
I thought
that
it was
we're
like
telling.
ADD.
Jason, can you go and explain what was the worst or scariest? I think I should just walk out. I think I should just leave this motherfucking podcast.
That was
I think I should literally just walk out and leave.
If you did that,
listen, Jason, you said you were in in the back of a painter's van or some shit like that.
It was a taxi van, like from our driver that we had, and so we got a flat tire. I wake up, and it's Jamaica. It is somewhat kind of a third world country.
Somewhat.
What you mean by that?
Like
somewhat.
The buildings and stuff. When you go into the real heart and local parts of Jamaica, like they're like shacks. And some areas are good and some aren't so good. And nigga, we was not in a good area. So my dad was just like, we ain't in the good area. And we got a flat tire. I got Supreme on. I'm sitting there like, I look like a tourist 100%.
Right. I would have robbed you.
I look too clean. I had a fresh haircut.
Too clean.
Most of them.
You saying they're dirty in Jamaica?
Oh my God.
So no. Everybody besides you is dirty in Jamaica. You're too clean.
That's crazy.
Not my family. The whole family looked clean, but you got a little bit of a rougher look sometimes.
So you told the story before. You said it felt like a scene of The Walking Dead started. Like they all looked at you and they started like coming towards you all slow and shit. And I was like,
but I was just like, nah. This might be it. This might be it. It take one person look down from their house to be like, where them niggas from?
But why can't you assume the best in people and be like, somebody will look down for their house and be like, oh, let me go help them with their tire, change their tire.
Well,
that was nice. I like that one.
That's the thing. But at the end of the day,
I did it
you
with y'all
gotta
toes too.
Matt, I see it. I see it now.
You see his raccoon
You
foot?
gotta
You see his raccoon
You
foot?
gotta stop.
His fucking foot keep touching us
Jason,
under the table.
You mind your business about what we got going on.
What he got going on. So that was the scariest moment. Didn't you say that somebody was walking up the street with a machete?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Oh no. That actually was the scariest moment. My dad, right? We had a rental car. It was a tiny car though, so like, mind you, it was the jankiest rental car you'll ever see. Like, it wouldn't start sometimes, and I was just like, I'm like, this shit gotta go, because my dad, being from Jamaica and whatnot, he's just like, they have the brands Enterprise and this and that. My dad found some local spot, and we went there. There was no car for us, so we sat there for like 2 hours. They finally get a car for us. That shit wouldn't start sometimes. Like, it started, they left it running, and then that shit shut off at the light, started back. We finally get to the Airbnb, and like, yeah, that's, long story short, janky rental car. Wouldn't start sometimes. My dad, after me and my sister got in that argument, he was just like, we're going to have a brother, sister, and dad trip. We went to go see my uncle, who still lives in Jamaica. We went to go see him on the island. It's all on the island. We went to go see him in Kingston. We were staying in Montego Bay, so that's like a good hour trip, going across the island. And so what happened? My dad. He swear he know the ways, even though he hasn't lived there in 20 years. And
So your dad's from Jamaica?
yeah, both of my parents are.
Oh, your mom.
Tell the
and your
story, Jason.
I am a pretty bad storyteller.
I'm
Let's
saying,
get
get
that.
to the point. Get to the point.
My dad swear he knows the way all around Jamaica, even though he
I don't
hasn't
even
lived
remember
there.
what the story is about at this point. I'm sorry. The TikTok video ended.
But we turned down some street, and next thing you know, there was a man smiling. It was a dirt road too, dirt road.
So
and there was
wait,
a man.
are y'all on feet right now?
We're in a car.
He said a car, bro. Don't let this shit go.
And I'm sitting there. There's a man smiling, dreads, no shirt, shorts, barefoot, walking with a machete down the dirt road, and then I was just like, me and my sister, like, we were still quiet because we weren't really talking to each other, and then it's just like,
was this before or after the fight?
this was after. I'm just like, I'm sitting in the front seat, my sister's in the back. I'm like, Dad, turn around. My dad's just like, stop, like, we're fine. And me and my sister looking at each other, and like, all the beef went aside.
He was smiling at y'all. The guy with the machete was smiling.
Yes, smiling. And I'm like, my dad's just like, no, we're fine. And then I'm just like, we're not. So then my dad keeps going down the road, right? And then there's some houses and whatnot. Definitely not the houses we're looking for, though. And this guy, he had like a bunch of bumps all over his face, like, and his arms and stuff. Like, I don't know what he had, but
Eczema.
it was like bad.
Hives.
Months.
I don't know.
He was cold, bro. He had goosebumps.
But they were like noticeable. Like, and so next thing you know, my dad rolls down the window and it's just like, we're looking for this place.
He asked
And
him?
Yeah,
Your dad asked
he
the
asked
guy?
that guy.
The bumpy guy?
Yeah, the bumpy guy. And the guy tells us where we need to go.
That's kind of fucking.
The guy tells
You
us
want
where
that
we need
shot?
to go, but as he tells us where we need to go, the guy with the machete, I look in the rearview mirror and that nigga is at the back of the street, turned around, walking back, and I was just like, nigga, no, like, we gotta go. So then my dad,
You said
like,
he turned around. He's walking back. What you mean?
because the street where we saw
You
the
just
bumpy
made the
guy,
story 6 minutes longer.
the street where we saw the bumpy guy, we had turned right onto that street. We were coming this way, and we turned right. So then the guy with the machete, he had to have turned around, walked back, and looked at us on the street, talking to the bumpy guy, and he was just behind us. And I was just like,
So you were scared.
Bruh,
Was your dad scared?
my dad, I know he was scared, but at the end of the day, that's your dad, so he can't look like no bitch in front of his kids.
You know he was scared.
How
do you know he was scared?
My dad was just like, when the guy told us the directions, my dad was just like, all right, thank you, and rolled the window up and then started driving. But like,
so when it's dark in Japan, do you have street lights?
Damn.
not in the tourist areas.
It's a third world country.
In the tourist areas?
Yeah, only in the tourist areas.
Only in there.
Yeah.
So like when you're outside of the tourist area, it's just
pitch black.
straight. When you say pitch black, do you mean like
Y'all people.
when you're
he said black as a Haitian.
But you're Jamaican, not Haitian.
No, Matt's Haitian.
But anyway, when it's
you're
pitch black,
Haitian.
have you ever been into like forests or mountains or any of that shit when it got dark outside?
Bro, we were.
Yeah.
The Airbnb was in the local area, but it was in a nice local area.
Bro,
So,
when you say local area, what does that mean?
like,
I mean, it's like 6 niggas with machetes.
where
Every
bro,
corner you
there's
turn.
cows walking around like just on the dirt road. Like we were living off a dirt road. Like all of the road is dirt.
In Jamaica.
Yeah.
So it's not all Jamaica, the local area, or am I tripping?
Well, yeah, you got local area, tourist area.
Get your raccoon possum feet off of me, bro.
You got the
Mac can
local
dribble a
area.
basketball with them
You
shits.
got the.
You said I could dribble?
Oh my god! All right, we just gonna stop with the Jamaica.
Come on, no wait, Nigel, don't take it. Don't take it.
All
Let's
right.
take the second shot and then we gonna.
Have you been to Haiti?
Damn. Put it like this.
Why would you ask me that?
Thank you so much for sharing your story. I think, we're all grateful and we're glad that you got back in one piece because you could have easily got sent
We're
back
glad you're
like
alive.
some flank steak. So we're glad that you made it back in one piece. Do you want to take this shot and then go on to the next segment?
Yeah, let's do
I
that.
bet he didn't even have a machete, bro. He probably
Oh
had
my
a
No,
book.
it was a
God.
He had
machete.
a book, bro.
It was probably his fucking hand, and you just looked at him.
Nigga
too
had
quick.
Twilight.
You thought I was a cop
Yeah,
for the shoot up
yeah,
innocent black
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
All
know
right.
because
Let's
I
take
know
the shot.
you,
Guys.